Welcome to the Lighthouse Financial Advisors Money Over 50 podcast with Davison and Michael Hogue. This information is general in nature and does not take into account your objectives, financial situation or needs. Therefore, you should consider whether the information is appropriate for you and your personal circumstances. If you require personal advice, please contact Lighthouse Financial Advisors. Here are your hosts, Davison and Michael Hogue.
So we're back again with the third section on our series, the top 5 reasons that retirement plans get derailed. So Michael, the third section.
Thanks, Alice. Number 3 is not starting today. So one common statement that every single new client of ours makes just after they become a new client is that, and it's regardless of their age, it's regardless if they're 50 or if they're 55 or they're 60 or they're 65, what they all say is, gee, we wish that we had come to see you guys sooner.
Yeah.
So we laugh a little bit when we hear that, and we tell them the important thing is that you're here now.
Yeah.
Because the only time to start is now.
Yeah. And
you can't look backwards, you can only look forwards. So you are never too late, and we have yet to meet anyone who is a financially hopeless case. Now, a lot of people, before they come to see us, probably don't come to see us because they think we're a financially hopeless case, and we don't want to be told that. I think probably one of the fears is that people may think that they would come to see us and we would tell them, well, there's just no hope.
Yeah.
We've never ever met that person. So there's always some really good work that we can do to make a difference. Sorry, Alice.
That's I think an interesting one, like you say, is that it's sort of a strange thing that for most people, between the ages of 20 and 50, they kind of think, that's way in the future. I won't think about that at all. I don't have to worry about that. And then all of a sudden, they, like we said, it's usually 55 that people turn around and something clicks in their brain and they go, we really need to sort this out and start planning. Now, what actually tends to happen is that it takes a while for people to get the motivation or to make that happen. And the longer that goes on, the more people start to think, as you said, maybe it's too late now, maybe we're a hopeless case. So it's kind of one of those things that there never seems to be the perfect time for people to actually to get these things in hand, because it's either something that they're not thinking about, they're not worried about, or it becomes something that is too stressful and it's too late, and they feel as though there's not much they can do about it now. And that's, as you say, it's never a case where someone comes in and we say, you don't, there's nothing that you need to do now and just don't worry about this for 10 years. And then it's never the case that someone comes in and we say, it's way too late, you've missed the boat here, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I go back to the only time to start is now, because what has or hasn't happened in the past is in the past. So
this is a bit. I'm reminded of an old coach of mine who used to say, "Hey Spence," used to say that the best time to start is last year, but today will do.
That's actually a good one. I like that. It's true. The only time to start is now. Compounding certainly works. So look at an example in point 2 where someone contributed $15,000 per annum in savings within their budget to their superannuation fund over the last 10 years of their working life.
Yep.
And it compounded out to just over $200,000 at the return assumption, which was 6.8% net of tax.
Yep.
Per annum.
Yeah.
So if you'd actually started that 5 years earlier, so if you started at 50, it compounds out to over $370,000. So
really
compounding definitely works.
Yeah.
So if you're 60, it's not too late to start that. I mean, there's so many different variations that you can. So sitting down with someone who's 60 who thinks it's too late, for example.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when you work it out, and you work out that they have accumulated long service, for example.
Yeah.
And they have some savings, so they really want to retire at 65, but if they stretch it out to age 67, then they
can have the
it
compounding
makes
effect.
such a big difference.
Yeah.
We often do a deal with those people, and we say, okay, well, why don't you take your long service leave and take your annual leave in the last 2 years of your working life. That gives you, by my calculations, roughly gives you 18 weeks annual leave over those last 2 years of your working life, so 9 weeks per year.
Yeah.
And we do a deal with those people and say, well, keep contributing towards your superannuation. You're over 65, you meet your preservation condition of release for superannuation. Hey, let's take some money out, whether it be $10,000 a year for those 2 years, and you can go on a holiday. And that keeps you focused on working. Makes a huge difference to your superannuation over that period of time, and it happens to actually get you to the age pension age as well. So there's so many different variations. There's no hopeless case that we've ever seen.
And that's a great point, is that it's never too early, it's never too late. There's always something that you can do regardless of your age. I always use the example of my father, who always says about, I wish someone had told me I should be salary sacrificed into super when I was 21 and started teaching. And they would say, you wouldn't listen. You would just go to the pub, drinking that money, having a great time. You weren't worried about it. But the same thing applies for them, is that you can't look backwards and go, well, I wish someone had told me at that point in time. That's already done. All you can do is start today and get started as soon as possible.
It's true, and there are different times and different stages of your life. We feel that the optimal time for people to start is somewhere between 50 to 55. Sometimes I get funny comments when I talk to people about that and say, well, why wouldn't you start at 40? Well, the statistics that we've seen for 40-year-olds that start to look at their retirement is just so far away.
It's
not
hard to stay motivated.
The plans through. So somewhere in the 50 to 55, but it's not too late at 60. It's not too late. It's never too late. So the only time to start is now, and to look at these things now.
Thank you for listening to the Money Over 50 podcast with Lighthouse Financial Advisors. We look forward to catching up again soon.